similar to the International Atomic Energy Agency.
Well, this morning in D.C., House Speaker Kevin McCarthy is facing challenges from within his own party following last week's debt limit deal with President Biden. That deal prevents the U.S. from defaulting on its debt. The law also caps non-defense spending, expands work requirements for some food stamp recipients, and pulls back some COVID-19 relief funds.
And here to break all of this down for us, we have Brendan Steinhauser with Young Americans for Liberty joining us this morning. Brendan, thanks so much for taking the time to be here with us.
Thank you for having me.
We want to talk about, of course, everyone in the news. The headline's been about the debt ceiling limit, all of this. But for everyday Americans, how does suspending the debt ceiling affect us?
Well, I think that, obviously the whole conversation has been about not defaulting on our debt. That's something nobody wants to do. That would not be good. We've been having this conversation for years and years now. But the problem that I think that a lot of Americans see, certainly I do, is that we've been raising the debt limit, but the debt has been going up. So it's kind of like just, raising the limit on your credit card and the spending keeps going. And so I think Americans who are dealing with this every day are looking at that saying, hey, Congress needs to get spending in control. And that's really the root of the problem.
Yeah, getting Congress to rein in spending is going to be an issue. But getting them to come together and agree on this so quickly speaks to Kevin McCarthy and what he's been doing in the party. Well, back to what this means for everyday Americans. I mean, obviously, there were some deals made, some spending cuts, the student loan forgiveness being capped at the end of August. Talk about that a little bit.
Yeah, definitely some things in there that I think Kevin McCarthy negotiated to get so he could go back to his members and say, hey, let's do this. We'll get the votes to get this done. And that they can also take that message and, to the American people and obviously all the way through the election to really talk about that. So yeah, unspent COVID funds going back into the coffers. One thing that I know a lot of conservative Americans are interested in is not having those 80,000 new IRS agents who are out there, doing audits. That's something that people are always concerned about. So I think that was a thing that a lot of Republicans are celebrating because that's something they were not happy with. And so there are some things in there that he was able to point to in order to get the votes to get the deal done. Now, obviously, he's dealing with some backlash in his own party for those that say, hey, this doesn't really get at the core of the problem. But he was able to get that done with President Biden. So I think that says something about his ability to negotiate, certainly.
Yeah, definitely. That's a huge part of it. It's just the ability for both sides to come together. And, it's never going to be a perfect every side wins negotiation. But we got somewhere. And that's better than what we were hoping for with getting that debt ceiling lifted. Brendan, thanks again for joining us and helping to break that down for us. We appreciate it.
Happy to do it. Thanks for having me.
Yeah, thanks for being here. And we have more Texas headlines and another look at your forecast coming right up. We'll be right back.